Thank you, Mr. Chair. Director Chopra, thank you for being here. Got a few questions, some interesting comments and questions. Some have gone, in my opinion, unanswered, but just to get some background, a few questions. Are overdraft fees illegal?
Overdraft fees, when they comply with all of the regulations,
are they legal? I mean,
yes.
Is it okay? Yeah. What about you mentioned overdraft services that you have problems with?
No, I think what I heard from your colleague was that sometimes overdraft was described as a penalty and sometimes it was described as a service.
Are either illegal?
No.
No, okay. What about mortgage origination fees? Are they illegal?
No, as long as they comply with what is required under the law.
Right. What about
legal.
Checking account management fees?
Checking account management fees?
Yeah, the fee that you may pay on a checking account.
Like a monthly service fee? Yeah, there are requirements under the Truth in Savings Act and others to do that.
Okay. So I understand that you've kind of grouped these together as junk fees.
No.
Are these the things that you consider as junk fees?
No, I think anything where you're getting a bona fide service we want banks to make money for services that they're providing. In some cases, if I get something for a service I never asked for, we see this all over the economy. We're getting sometimes charged for things we never even asked for.
Okay, but does that mean that these are currently illegal?
Well, actually, if there is any deception around it,
beside deception, just the fact that there may be fees associated with something.
There's some state law issues, but the ones you've mentioned, there's not a per se ban on them.
Okay, so who's responsible for determining if something's legal or illegal? What entity is constitutionally given the power to make law?
Well, Congress and the president.
Okay, no, Congress.
Well, sorry, the president signed.
I mean, that's concerning that if you don't know the basics of our Constitution.
No, I know that, but the
not.
President signs law bills into law.
Right, so it's Congress. So my question is, in your job, and from what I'm hearing through the testimony, is it your job, which it is, but I'm just trying to get your opinion on it, is your job to enforce a law or what you personally believe is wrong?
It's enforcing the law and enforcing the law as written. And in some cases, Congress has specifically required agencies to promulgate disclosures, to enforce certain provisions. And often we need to look at what is working and what is not in order to make those legal requirements that Congress has often required of us to do to ensure that they are effective.
How does overdraft fees fit into that?
Well, overdraft fees are subject to provisions of the Truth in Lending Act.
Oh.
So we are. Go ahead.
So this is the issue we're having here. Now, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
It appears that you're a person who really likes to regulate. I understand there's folks out there that really like regulations. Do you believe that businesses, banks, even small banks or whatever, incur cost for the more regulation that you impose?
Well, no, I don't like. The key is that regulations should work to promote markets that are fair, transparent, and competitive. My
question is, yes. Do these businesses incur additional cost to implement these regulations?
Usually, if there's a bright line ban on something, maybe not. But
let me reclaim my time here. Yeah, I mean, a regulation, businesses incur cost. So when you take something that a fee that is to recoup a cost, like with an overdraft, right? And if you're not allowing, or you're going to punish a business that collects an overdraft fee, then who's going to incur that cost? It's not going to be the bank. It's going to be the consumers that do not overdraft.
I think
so. How is that consumer protection?
No, you highlight a good point about cost recoupment. So one of the important things is financial institutions, other businesses may incur costs, but then there's also a price. And the price ideally is set by the competitive market. And I think that's actually what we're starting to see in overdraft. You're starting to see banks look at what are their costs and how can they still make the numbers work and compete. And some of them are actually offering that service now for free because they're using it as a vehicle to offer a broader suite of services that is in their business interest. That's how the market works.